Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday. People like to welcome you all to the show. Let me read something off to you guys before we get started, right? Because this is a must. You have to understand what's going on, right? Look, folding cabinet bed. Sarah Goody. Potato chips, George Crumb. Gas mask, Garrett Morgan. Protective mailbox, Philip D. Downing. Blood bank, Charles Richard Drew. Improved ironing board, Sarah Boone. Home security system, Mary Van Britton Brown. 3 light traffic light, Garrett Morgan. Refrigerated trucks, Frederick McKinley. Automatic elevators, electric microphone, color IBM PC monitor, and gigahertz chip, super soaker, tissue holder, peanut butter, laser Faco, Patricia Bad, automatic gear shift, clothes dryer, dustpan, folding chair, golf tees, ice cream scooper, lawnmower, lawn sprinkler, the modern toilet, the mop, reversible baby stroller. Look, I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on, right? Now, if what I just taught you all is deemed as wokeism, as how in Florida DeSantis doesn't want you to learn about that, then why don't we remove these black people and their inventions from the American society and see how you would get along without their inventions? You couldn't. So I don't know why so many people from black to white to brown to red, why they're not going after DeSantis in Florida for not allowing AP African American Studies in the colleges, in the curriculum, in their studies. Why not? If it wasn't for African Americans, black people in America, you wouldn't even, these inventions, these everyday things that we use to make our society, you wouldn't have them. It's just like it's just like when the Moors civilized the Europeans, civilized Spain, civilized Portuguese. You remove the Moors and they still would be living in mud holes or mud huts inside caves, alongside hills. All right? Wouldn't have any paved streets. Predicated that to the black Moors. Now, why is DeSantis fighting so hard to create a negative stereotype on black education? Right. I know why. Because it's the same trick. See, you all hear me say, for 400 years of slavery, it was against the law to allow blacks to read or write. And there was a purpose behind that, right? Because how can you control the people? You couldn't control the people if they know what you know. So the goal is, the object is to keep one dumbed down. You have the knowledge so you can rule over them. But that's the problem. Nobody wants to be ruled over. Those days are gone. Now, this is coming from a movie, film titled Night John, right? And I'm going to play a little bit of Night John for you guys so you can understand why they want to keep this same dumbed down system in place. Check this out, y'all.
But I did steal something.
What you stole?
Letters. I stole some letters.
She stole some letters.
What letters you take?
Alphabet. Just like you said. A, B, C, G, E.
You see what you start?
What? What he start? You teaching her letters?
That depends on Dealey here.
Anybody in this cabin teaching letters, I go right to Waller and I give him a name.
He going right to the slave
You don't
master.
mean that, old man.
They will kill you, they find you reading. Worse than kill you. And for what? Words? Words ain't nothing.
That's the slave mind, old man. Because that's all slavery. This the free mind. Words, laws, deeds, passes, all they are is words. White folks got all the words, and they mean to keep them. You get some words for yourself, you'll be free.
You don't know nothing. Slavery? Slavery is when the man with the whip got the gun. So you let him whip you. You let him take everything away from you. And you got nothing. I know.
What you know?
What I know? What I know? I know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. That's what I know. And this is what it cost me.
He lost his finger.
They cut the man's finger off for knowing his alphabet. Words, the power of knowledge. It's 2022, and you have DeSantis saying no AP African American Studies. Why? Because the notion was do not teach the slave or the former slaves. So if you're a slave, and if you feel like you're a former slave, then what you'll do is you'll just say, okay, and that'll be it. But if you are a free person, you will teach AP studies right in front of their capital, right in front of their city hall. You would get groups of people and be at the park and y'all teaching and talking about African American studies, inventions, and what black people created and committed to this society. You wouldn't lay down and say, well, DeSantis said we can't teach AP. What is going to get us? Meaning, yeah, it's always been a cost and a price to pay for knowledge and freedom. Because knowledge, you can go and do anything. But if they try to block you of knowledge, then they want to control you, control your circumference, and control the way you think. And if you sit there and let them do that, it's something wrong with you. It's not them. Can't no man control you. You know? So what he would try to write into, man, you can, so what he'll try to write into law, the fact that you can't teach AP African American Studies, but yet you can teach European history, European studies. No, do not be a victim. These are the same tactics that was used during slavery time. Back in slavery time, there was the alphabet. We learned the alphabet. Right? Then we learned reading. Right? We learned law. We learned knowledge. We learned justice. Now it's, well, we don't want you to learn your history. Right? And in order to learn your history, you need the alphabet. You need letters. You need words. You need education. Right? So it just came back around again. 2022. It came back around to at this point they're saying, look, with black people learning who they are, they're becoming more emboldened. Right? Their knowledge and their history, it empowers them. We have to find a way to cut it off. But why? What's the point? Why cut off knowledge from black people? What do you stand to gain by cutting off knowledge with black people? It's competition. They don't want the competition. They only want to be the only ones who rule. Right? They don't want us to get in the position of power to rule. So cut them off at the knees. No AP, African American Studies taught in Florida. This should be a worldwide outrage. Black people, you should not take this lying down. This is one of the most important issues that we have to deal with as a people. And the reason why I say that is because this is so dangerous. It takes you right back into the mindset of the slave master. This man in that movie Night John lost his fingers for just learning the alphabet. That's how afraid they were of black people learning. Now you got the internet, you got Google, you got all the tools at your disposal. What you fail to realize is that the most important power you can have is the power of self and knowledge of who you are. And you spread that knowledge to every black person on the planet, even those who don't want to listen. Tell them something, because knowledge holds the power. Right? Without knowledge and a lack of knowledge, you know what's going to happen? You'll turn on each other. You'll tear up your neighborhood. You'll kill each other. And you will be ridden. Someone will ride you like a donkey because you have a lack of knowledge. But when you have knowledge, it gives you vision and foresight. You can see them coming a mile away. You can see their tricks. You can see their games. Knowledge exposes their identity. Knowledge exposes their hidden hand. You can see them just as plain as day. And it also allows you to make the right choice and the right decision. Without knowledge, you will make a decision based on emotions and mess everything up. So, Florida, anywhere they talk about wokeism and we going to get a bill to stop this, you fight. Fight. Because once the knowledge goes, you don't want to know what's coming behind that. So knowledge is a light. It's a light that shines on their dark mind and their dark thinking. Knowledge is very important. So when DeSantis, you should not even think about voting for someone who is trying to keep your mind in the dark and not elevate you. He wants to use you as a tool and a slave. Anybody that don't want to share knowledge or point you in the right book, point you in the right direction of knowledge, wants to use you as a tool and a slave. And if you don't know this by now, you're a slave. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.